Stop designing your dream house before you've done this one thing. Welcome to the Affordable High Performance Home Series. Howdy y'all, I'm Jordan Smith. I'm a design builder here in Austin, Texas, and we are attempting to build an affordable high performance home. The first thing that you need to do before you do any design is know where the house is going to be. You need to find the lot of land where this house is going to exist before you design the house. And there's several reasons for this. Number one is sun angles. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, it tracks across the south, more so in the winter. You can do such cool things that cost $0 in your design to make sure that you capture the great views that are available. And that's the second thing that you want to look for. Are there any views that you can capture on this lot? Is there a cityscape that you want to look at? Is there a ravine that you're looking over? Is there a lake? What do you want to be looking at when you build your house? The third thing that you need to check and make sure is that you have access to utilities. You want to make sure that power is close. You want to make sure that water is close, and you want to also make sure that you're not too far off of a paved county road or maintained road, because every foot that you take your house further away from a maintained road gets much more expensive to put your own driveway or road in there. And that leads me to my final thing. Make sure you have access to the lot. There's so many lots out there that look like a great deal before you realize that you don't have access. It's landlocked by neighbors that aren't granting you access. Sometimes there's deeded easements, meaning you don't own the land, but you have a legal right to use the land to get to your lot. Or I prefer, where I can, to have my own owned access to the land. But again, if we're talking affordable here, you're probably not worried about that because you're wanting to get that house as close to the road as possible. So you're going to be looking for small lots that are close to county roads. The reality of it is, the cooler the lot, the more expensive it is to build the house. If you've got a great hill with great views, it's going to cost a lot in foundation work. So boring lots close to the road or in town sometimes are the best bang for the buck when you actually start building. Let's go out and look at our boring lot that we bought here north of Austin, Texas, to build the affordable high performance home. When you're looking for a lot for an affordable high performance home, you're probably not going to have the pick of the litter, because the pick of the litter lots go for a lot of money. You're probably going to wind up with something a lot like this. This is farmland outside of town, very flat. It doesn't have any lake views. It doesn't have any city views. There's no mountains around here, but that's great because it is affordable. Now, there's a few things that you want to make sure that you consider when you're looking at lots. You have to consider how it is positioned, primarily with the sun. Where the sunrises are, where the sunsets are, where the south is, and where the north is. All of this plays into how the house will perform. In this case, we're wanting to design a house that really takes advantage of great sunrises over the farmland and great sunsets through our front porches. You also have to consider, how are you getting onto the property? In this case, we've got a county road that's paved right there. That's fantastic because it means that I can build a very short driveway and still be removed if I'm wanting privacy, because getting further back on land starts costing a lot of money as you make these driveways longer. And you also have to increase the distance that you have to take your utilities. Again, in this case, we've got power right on the road. So if we keep the house pulled forward, we can bury our transmission lines underneath and not spend a whole lot of money with bringing power back to it. Water also has to be provided. Out here in the country, we could do a well, but there's city water right on the highway here, so we might as well use that. You can do a cost-benefit analysis if you want. Is it better to spend all your money up front to get a well, or is it better to pay the city for their water over time? Or maybe you want to do both for redundancy. And you also have to make sure that you have a plan for your sewage. Here we do not have sewer on the road. We have public water, but we don't have sewer, so we're going to have a septic system. And then finally, you have to look at your ground that you're going to be building on. We did an engineered soil test here, and we found that this is very expansive soil. It's not great soil to build on, honestly. So we're going to have to consider that when we design the foundation. So those are the main things that you want to be looking at when you're getting a lot. How it's oriented, where the sun is rising, setting, which way's north, which way's south, where's your power coming from, where's your water coming from, how are you going to get onto your land, and then what does the land look like itself when you start building a foundation. Let's take it back to the studio. So that's a lot that we decided to build the first affordable high performance home on. Make sure you subscribe, because in the next episode, we're going to be talking about the design of the house that will be going on that lot. Comment below with any of your nightmare stories about buying land or not having access or crazy neighbors. We've all got those, right? And join us next time as we endeavor to build better.